Mystery, danger, and potential tragedy seem to be on the Beyond the Gates agenda for the week of September 22nd to 26th. The action revolves around Doug, with Joey as the puppet master. Joey turns to Marcel for his special brand of help. On Tuesday, Joey, John Lindstrom, and Marcel, Daryl W. Handy, hatch a mysterious plan that must involve Doug, Jason Graham. Joey has learned that he cannot rely on the man to stay quiet about his criminal operation. Bill, Time and Kyle Durrett threw Doug under the bus with what he learned. Doug wants to expose Joey's money laundering ways and fill in the cops about how Joey ordered Randy, Maurice P. Carey, to kill a certain bigoted busboy. Joey can't have this, so a plan is hatched. What will this payback plan involve? Violence? We cannot rule that out at this point. Breaking news. Midweek, Joey and Vanessa, Lauren Buglioli, are most likely in Puerto Rico together. Very convenient considering things are about to go down beyond the gates of Fairmont Crest or the surrounding area. That gives Joey a convenient alibi, no? Suddenly, two major revelations rock Fairmont Crest, which causes Jacob, Jiber Horges, to deliver earth-shattering news. In the video sneak peek at the end of Friday's episode, Jacob was on the phone with Vanessa. Did something happen to Doug? And what about the second revelation? Is it related to whatever the first earth-shattering revelation is? Consolations and updates. By the end of the week, Nicole, Daphne Duplay, gets an update and consoles a friend. Her bestie is Vanessa. So, is that who she's consoling? If something happened to Doug, then Vanessa is going to need all the help that she can get. Yikes. Doug doesn't seem too bothered by the fact that he enlisted Bill to help him get back at Joey Armstrong on the Friday, September 19th episode of Beyond the Gates. But he should be bothered. He should also be aware and be watching his back. Doug out in the cold. Doug, Jason Graham, is a bit delusional about his so-called friendship with Bill. Time and Kyle Durrett. He seems to think that since they went to college at the same time, they were tight, and he could trust Bill to help him with his revenge against a known mobster type. Meanwhile, when Joey, John Lindstrom, asked Bill if he and Doug were close, he was like, nah. In fact, it didn't take Bill long to take Joey's side because Joey's particular skills were much more valuable to him. Joey can do way more for Bill than Doug can. Doug really has no leg to stand on here. And he's overestimating college ties. Right after Doug laid out how he wanted Bill to help him, Bill hightailed it over to Uptown to rat Doug out. He told Joey how Doug wanted to expose his money laundering operation with Vanessa, Lauren Buglioli, and that Doug would work to protect Vanessa from the fallout. He also told Bill about Joey ordering Randy, Maurice P. Carey, to kill that bigoted busboy, who, later, ended up dead in the park. When Joey asked how he responded, Bill said he told Doug what he tells all his clients, that he'll think about it. Joey loved that answer, and he asked Bill to keep thinking about it long enough for him to come up with a plan for handling Doug, who had quickly become a liability. Doug's in trouble. Bill letting Joey know what's going down will undoubtedly result in major trouble for Doug. How can Joey let this slide? Doug is threatening to expose his money laundering operation and involve the cops. Joey has been itching to remove Doug from his sight for quite a while. Now Bill knows that Joey actually cares about Vanessa. At this point, Joey sees Doug as a nuisance who could cause him chaos and drama. What's to stop him from permanently getting rid of Doug? Or Fijians? Doug tells Randy about his meeting with Bill where he told him about the money laundering and sleeping with Vanessa. Randy freaks out when he learns Bill knows about Joey asking him to take a hit out on Randy. Doug thinks Bill would never double-cross a brother for someone like Joey, but Randy says he shouldn't be so sure. That being said, Randy thinks he may have an idea for a path forward. Joey's gambling pit. Bill wants to talk to Joey, but Vanessa is being bullish about leaving them alone. She finally realizes it's time to get gone, kisses Joey, and exits. Afterwards, Bill says Doug dropped by the house earlier to talk about taking Joey down. He provides him all Doug's details, including the hit on Randy. Joey can't believe Doug would go after the real estate business, as it's Vanessa's. Bill is not so sure. Joey knows Doug isn't thrilled with his and Vanessa's current arrangement. He knows they have an arrangement, but also knows they both love each other. He thinks Doug will try to prove he washed the money without implicating his wife. Bill makes a note about Vanessa being good in bed, as most crazy women are. Joey snaps, saying Vanessa isn't crazy, which makes Bill understand he cares. Joey thanks Bill for his honesty and says he simply told Doug he would think about the information he provided. They agree they've never had this conversation and continue to drink. Fairmont Country Club. Eva asks her mother what she is expecting from Ted after scheming her way into his bed. Leslie says Ted seduced her, but notes they were explosive together. Eva is grossed out and was hoping her mother would realize Ted made a drunken misstep. Leslie realizes Ted has to keep up appearances, but thinks they have begun anew. Eva loves her mother but thinks it's delusional for her to think Ted wants to move forward with the relationship. She begs her mother not to be too messy, as she is starting to build a life in this town. Leslie chastises her daughter for being a little weak. Eva exits whilst Leslie enjoys her drink. Across the way, Leslie is feeling all kinds of sick by Leslie's presence at her country club. She can't believe Nicole has to trip over Leslie every time she comes to the club, especially since she and Ted seem to be sleeping together again. Vernon asks about Nicole, but Anita says it's been hard to get in touch. Vernon heads out to the lobby to try and get a hold of his daughter. Leslie sits next to Anita and says she wants to talk to her about Barbara. Anita tells her to go pound salt. She tells Leslie to step off before she takes off her earrings. Leslie doesn't understand why her Auntie Anita won't tell her about her mother. Leslie says she won't be emotionally manipulated. Leslie gets serious, saying she knows nothing and just wants any bit of information she can possibly spare. Anita barks, but then relents and says she might be a half-decent human being if she'd known her mother. Leslie realizes Anita won't give her any information and begins to walk away. Anita says Barbara was smart and fearless. There would be no articulates had it not been for her. Leslie sits back down and asks for more information. Anita says they grew up in the projects and always wanted to sing and took every opportunity to do so. Leslie asks what Anita admired about her mother. She says everything and notes how Barbara never really lost her street edge, which is why her suicide shocked her. Leslie thanks Anita for the tribute Barbara was given at the concert and for telling her stories today. She says it means a lot and then walks away.